Most people assume a cat sleeps wherever it happens to feel comfortable. A soft couch, a warm chair, a patch of sunlight on the floor. Cats have plenty of options. And yet, night after night, many owners notice something curious. Out of all those places, their male cat keeps choosing the same one right next to them. That choice isn't random. In fact, when you look closer at male cat behavior, this is one of the clearest signs your cat trusts you more than anything else in the house. Cats are naturally territorial animals. In their world, every space is silently labeled as either safe or uncertain, familiar or unknown. When your male cat curls up beside you, pressing his body against yours as he falls asleep, he's not simply looking for warmth. He's choosing the place where he feels the most protected in his entire environment. Researchers studying why cats sleep with their owners have found that many cats form attachment bonds that closely resemble the security patterns seen in human infants. And male cats, in particular, often select one person as their primary source of safety. When he chooses your bed instead of the dozens of other comfortable spots in your home, he's sending a message in the only language cats really speak: behavior. You are the safest place he knows. But the truly fascinating part isn't just that he sleeps beside you. It's what he does with his body once he's there. Because the position your cat chooses while sleeping may reveal something about how he sees his role in your life, and that's where things start to get even more interesting. If you really want to understand why cats sleep with their owners, pay attention to something most people overlook completely. Not just that your male cat sleeps beside you, but where he places himself on the bed. At first glance, it might seem random. Maybe he settles between you and the edge of the mattress. Maybe he curls up facing the bedroom door. Sometimes he stretches out along the side of your body like a quiet shadow. But if you watch closely over several nights, a pattern often appears. And once you notice it, you start to realize something surprising about male cat behavior. In the wild, cats almost never fall asleep without considering their surroundings, even when resting. They instinctively choose positions where they can detect movement, hear approaching sounds, and react quickly if something changes in their environment. Elevated spots, corners, or positions facing open spaces give them the advantage of early awareness. Now think about where your cat sleeps when he's next to you. Many male cats deliberately place themselves between their human and the most open side of the bed, or orient their body toward the doorway as if keeping watch. It may look like he's completely relaxed, but his position tells another story. In his mind, he's not just resting, he's standing guard. Studies in feline behavioral science have observed that cats who form strong attachment bonds often display protective spatial positioning around the person they trust most. And that means when your cat settles into that familiar spot each night, he may actually be doing something instinctive and deeply loyal at the same time. He's placing himself where he believes he can protect you first. But the placement of your cat on the bed isn't the only thing that carries meaning. What reveals even more about how cats show love is the exact place your cat chooses on your body when he falls asleep. And that small detail can change everything about how you see those quiet nighttime moments. Now here's where things start to get really interesting. Because understanding cat sleeping positions' meaning goes far beyond simply noticing that your cat sleeps next to you. The real story often lies in where he chooses to rest on your body. To most people, it might look like a random decision, sometimes on your chest, sometimes near your feet, sometimes curled close to your head. But when experts study male cat behavior, they found that these positions often reflect very different levels of trust, comfort, and emotional connection. Take the moment when a male cat settles directly on your chest. At first, it might seem like he's simply enjoying the warmth of your body, but something deeper is happening. Your heartbeat, your breathing rhythm. Even the subtle rise and fall of your chest create a pattern of movement that cats instinctively associate with safety. When your cat sleeps there, he's synchronizing himself with you in one of the closest forms of trust a cat can show. Now, if your cat prefers to curl up near your feet, don't mistake that for distance. In many cases, it's actually a strategic position. From there, he can remain close to you while still maintaining a vantage point of the room. Many cats who sleep in this spot are balancing two instincts at once, staying near the person they trust while remaining aware of their surroundings. And then there are the cats who settle right beside your head or against your neck. This position is especially intimate because it places your cat near one of the most vulnerable parts of your body while exposing his own. When a cat sleeps this close to your face, it often signals a level of emotional safety that few animals willingly show. Once you begin to notice these patterns, bedtime starts to reveal an entirely new layer of communication. But even these sleeping positions don't tell the full story of how cats show love. Because there's another moment many owners experience without realizing what it means, the nights when your cat suddenly becomes much closer to you than usual. Especially when something in your life feels off. There's a moment many cat owners have experienced but rarely stop to think about. You've had one of those days that just sits heavy on your shoulders. Maybe nothing dramatic happened, but the stress followed you home. Lingering quietly in the background, you lie down, staring at the ceiling, and before long your cat appears suddenly closer than usual, pressing against you, settling directly on top of your chest or curling tightly against your side. At first, it might feel like coincidence, but when researchers began studying how cats show love and respond to human behavior, they found something remarkable about male cat behavior in particular. Cats are extremely sensitive to subtle changes in their environment, and that includes the people they bond with most closely. Your tone of voice, the way you move through the house. Even small changes in facial expression can signal to your cat that something isn't quite the same as usual. On top of that, scientists have discovered that stress hormones like cortisol can actually shift your body's scent in ways animals detect long before humans notice it themselves. Your cat may realize you're upset before you've fully processed it yourself. That's why many owners notice their cats staying unusually close during difficult days, following them from room to room, or sleeping closer than they normally do at night. Cats are not pack animals, and they don't have a social obligation to comfort anyone, which makes moments like these even more meaningful. When your male cat chooses to stay beside you during times like this, it's not duty, it's choice. But there's another behavior owners sometimes notice that feels confusing at first. After weeks or months of sleeping in the same place beside you, a cat may suddenly choose a completely different spot in the room, and that quiet change can carry an important message of its own. Up to this point, we've talked about what it means when your cat consistently chooses to sleep beside you. But sometimes the pattern changes. A cat who has spent weeks curled up next to you might suddenly move to the other side of the bed, the corner of the room, or even a spot under a chair where he's never slept before. Many owners shrug this off as one of those mysterious quirks that make cats unpredictable. Maybe he's just in a different mood tonight. Maybe he found a warmer spot. But when experts look closely at male cat behavior, sudden shifts in sleeping patterns can occasionally reveal something important. Cats are masters at hiding discomfort. In the wild, showing weakness could make them vulnerable to predators. So their instincts push them to mask pain or illness for as long as possible. Instead of limping or vocalizing, the first sign something feels wrong is often a subtle change in routine. One of the earliest routines to shift is where they sleep. If a cat who normally sleeps against you begins keeping his distance, it may mean he's avoiding pressure or touch because something hurts. On the other hand, a cat who suddenly starts lying directly on top of you might be seeking extra warmth if his body temperature regulation isn't feeling quite right. None of this means every sleeping change signals a serious problem. But it does remind us of something important. Paying attention to cat sleeping positions meaning can sometimes reveal what a cat cannot say out loud. And yet, even these behavioral signals don't compare to the moment when a cat completely lets his guard down beside you, because that final moment reveals the deepest level of trust a cat can give. Now we arrive at the moment many cat owners witness every night without realizing just how meaningful it is. Your cat is lying beside you. The room is quiet. And slowly his body begins to relax, deeper and deeper into sleep. His paws twitch slightly, as if he's chasing something in a dream. Sometimes his front paws move in a gentle kneading motion, pressing softly against the blanket or even your arm. Every now and then you might hear a faint purr so quiet you almost have to hold your breath to notice it. And then there's the position that surprises many people the first time they see it. Your cat rolls slightly onto his back, exposing his belly while he sleeps beside you. For a cat, that posture is incredibly vulnerable. In the natural world, a cat that exposes its stomach and falls into deep REM sleep is placing itself in a position where it cannot react quickly to danger. Every instinct in a cat's body is designed to avoid that level of vulnerability. Yet here he is, completely relaxed, eyes closed, body loose, sleeping deeply right next to you. Studies exploring signs your cat trusts you show that cats only enter this level of deep sleep when they feel absolutely secure in their surroundings. In other words, your cat has decided that next to you is the safest place he could possibly be. And once you understand that, those quiet moments at night start to feel very different, because what looks like an ordinary nap is actually one of the clearest ways how cats show love without ever saying a word. By now, you may start to see those quiet nighttime moments a little differently. What once looked like a simple habit, your cat curling up beside you before falling asleep, actually carries layers of meaning hidden in small, almost invisible behaviors. When we look closely at male cat behavior, those nightly routines begin to form a pattern. Your cat chooses you not just because the bed is soft, not just because your body is warm, but because in his world you represent something far more important. You are safety, familiarity, and trust all in one place. The position he chooses on the bed, the way he settles against your body, the nights he stays closer when you're feeling down, even the rare moments when he sleeps so deeply that his guard completely disappears. Each of these behaviors quietly answers the same question many cat owners ask. Why do cats sleep with their owners? The answer is simpler and more powerful than most people expect. Because in the mind of your cat, you are home. And every time he falls asleep beside you, he's saying that in the only language he knows trust,